Something is just not right with the Raiders, and nobody is talking about it. Feels like we are living in a bubble, right? The season is knocking on the door, and while the questions keep piling up, the silence on key positions is starting to sound like a deafening alarm. Calculated strategy or just pure laziness from the front office. That fine line between being an elite contender and just a spectator of our own downfall has never been this clear. If you want to know what is actually being debated in the NFL hallways about our uncertain fate, don't you dare go anywhere. Make sure you are subscribed because today's debate is going to be intense and the truth is going to be told. The talk of the town right now is our wideout group. The 2026 season is creeping up and, honestly, we still have no clue who is going to be the guy to catch those clutch balls in big moments. The doubt is hanging in the air like a dark cloud, and while the front office seems to be hesitant about making bold moves, the rumors about a potential trade are just gaining momentum and desperation. We are standing still while the league keeps moving. One name that is all over the headlines and causing some serious debates is Keyshawn Bout from the Patriots. Look, reports say Boot had some flashes of brilliance in New England, putting up 6 touchdowns and averaging 16.7 yards per catch. That is the stat line of someone who wants it and is hungry. But with guys like A.J. Brown coming in over there, he got pushed to the WR3 spot. And here is the million-dollar question. Should the silver and black take a flyer on him right now? Some people are saying, like Austin Bundy over at Fansided, that the Giants are a way more likely landing spot, even suggesting a trade involving guys like Kayvon Thibodeau. But does that even make sense for us? If the Raiders could land a talent like that, maybe for a 5th-round pick like Robert Mays suggested on The Athletic, would we be solving our problem or just treating the symptoms of a much bigger cancer? Nothing is confirmed yet, but the fact his name keeps coming up is a clear sign that our receiving core needs more impact and fast. And if it actually happens, would Boot be the missing piece or just another guy fighting for scraps on a roster still desperately looking for its identity? That uncertainty is what hurts the most. We are entering the season with a massive question mark at the position, and with every day that passes, the trade market gets more aggressive and picky. Is the front office finally going to pull the trigger, or are we going to bank on luck and what we have right now? Is this brilliant strategy or a massive mistake that's going to cost us big time once November hits and it gets cold out there? The fans deserve to know what is going on in the heads of the people running our future. But hold your breath, because what is coming next changes everything. While we talk about outside trades, the internal battle in here is hotter and bloodier than ever. Our receiving group is living through a real emotional roller coaster, with a lot of young guys trying at all costs to prove their worth and put bread on the table. The main issue, obviously, is the lack of experience on the field. Except for Philip Dorsett, who is already a 33-year-old vet, the whole crew is 27 or younger. And look, according to reports from people at practice, it is pretty unlikely that Dorsett locks up a spot on the final roster. Sam Warren from The Athletic already put it out there that he should be one of the cuts this offseason. That leaves us with the young hungry guys: Tucker, Naylor, Beck, and Thornton. That is a lot of names, but who actually has the physical and mental makeup to step up and be the guy? Then there is the Shedrick Jackson situation, Bo Jackson's nephew. Every fan wants to see him shine, but the reality is that the battlefield is a lot tougher than the last name suggests. He had some nice flashes in OTAs, but securing a spot on the final roster is a thankless task. And what about Dante Thornton Jr.? The 2025 third-round pick has all the physical tools to be a monster, but where is the consistency you need for the NFL? Former lineman Lincoln Kennedy didn't hold back, saying he and Jalen Naylor look like they are doing the exact same thing, focused blindly on deep routes, which limits our offense. The question is, do we have redundancy or do we have depth? If everyone does the same thing, how are we going to confuse opposing defenses? That worries me. It is a group full of physical potential, but they haven't shown they can be reliable under pressure. Are we seeing a rigorous selection process, or are we just wasting time on guys who aren't going to give us that elite level we need to win? Competition is healthy, for sure, but the lack of a proven WR1 is a ghost that haunts our QBs every time they step on that field. If there isn't a quick fix, we are going to have serious problems converting on third downs, and at the end of the day, that is what separates the teams heading to the playoffs from those planning the draft ahead of time. And that is not even the most worrying part, because now we have to talk about the untouchable. Or is he not untouchable anymore? The rumors about Max Crosby's future have exploded over the last few weeks, especially after that shocking move of Myles Garrett to the Rams. The elite edge rusher market is moving, and our captain's name won't stop circling. Austin Bundy already poured gasoline on the fire, proposing wild trades with the Eagles and Bears. We are talking about first and second round picks, plus guys like Nolan Smith Jr. or Dayo Odeyingbo. The thought of losing Crosby sends a chill down the spine of anyone who loves the silver and black. The guy had a 79.7 PFF grade, 10 sacks, and a presence that intimidates any offensive line that tries to face us. But let's be real, if the silver and black starts the season slow, the pressure for a full teardown is going to be unbearable. The Eagles, chasing another Super Bowl, would see Crosby as the final piece to wreck offenses. The Bears, trying to solidify themselves, would need that firepower to keep up with the NFC North arms race. If the team is playing bad, will the front office hold on to Crosby or take the treasure chest of draft picks to rebuild? I ask myself, what is the soul of this defense worth? Sometimes the trade price looks good on paper, but the hit to team morale is incalculable. If Crosby is 100% healthy, he is one of the best in the world, a true engine. Letting him go, would it be a historic mistake or a bold move from someone looking to rebuild the future? Nothing confirmed yet, but the simple fact we are even discussing this shows just how unstable things are. The clock is ticking, the front office's silence on these rumors just adds to our agony, and the fear that the Raiders' identity is being sold for a future that never comes. We are talking about one of the pillars of our culture. If this actually happens, if we see Crosby wearing another jersey, the concept of loyalty in the NFL is dead to us. But it is a business, and the front office knows that better than anyone. Do they have the guts to pull the trigger? Or are they going to leave us guessing until the last minute? The fans won't forgive a wrong decision about our biggest idol. The stage is set with a clarity that is honestly scary. On one side, we have Ann. Offense crying out for validation, desperately looking for an identity that still feels lost in the middle of so many broken promises. On the other, a defensive unit that, even though it's solid, lives under a constant shadow and the relentless threat of seeing its biggest leader and pillar, Max Crosby, leave in a deal that would change the face of this franchise forever. If the front office doesn't act with the coldness and intelligence this moment demands, we are doomed to just watch the clock run out, sitting back while our direct rivals load up with surgical moves and relentless aggression. The question that echoes in the halls of Las Vegas and that I would love to see answered clearly is our management genuinely focused on building a winning and sustainable project, or are we just living off appearances and duct tape, holding the ship steady while it rocks dangerously in an increasingly choppy sea? The fans' patience isn't infinite, and the credit that was given to this rebuilding plan is running out fast. We cannot afford to be passive while the window of opportunity slams shut. I want to hear your voice now, Raider Nation, because your opinion is the real thermometer for this team. Does this current roster, with all its moving parts and uncertainties, actually have the juice to fight at the top of the table once the season heats up? Or are we being fooled by blind optimism and nostalgia for a past that isn't coming back? The debate is necessary and urgent. Drop your thoughts down below, don't be afraid to be controversial, and let's get this conversation on track. The Raider Nation deserves answers, and we are going to keep asking until the truth comes out. What would you do if you were in total control of this ship today?